Hello, everyone.
Hi. Hello.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for joining.
Yeah, good evening, good afternoon, good morning. We're morning, yes? We're morning.
Yes, still, we're morning.
We're here in Lake Tahoe, California. We just arrived last night after some travels, and so it is morning for us.
So, we want to welcome all of you for this free live transmission called Collective Alignment for Level Up. And Level Up is a weekend workshop that we have been working on diligently, the entire team, for many, many months. It's also our annual gathering as a community. Why level up and why we're doing this once a year? Crystal, do you want to say something about it?
Hmm, sure. Well, we haven't gathered as a community since really before COVID, and um, both in person and virtually, we wanted to create an opportunity for us to get to know one another and go deeper on a different level. So, for those of you virtual, you'll be transmitters for the energy that we're anchoring in here in Lake Tahoe, and you'll also have an opportunity to virtually gather in a social setting on Saturday. And for those of you who are coming in person, then we'll see you here, and we'll be working together to bring through the energies and connect them in through to Lake Tahoe, and then of course share a meal and share some laughs. So um, yeah.
Thank you. And we
Mhm.
also want to welcome all of those that are first timers.
Mhm.
First time to Ascension 1, first time to level up, first time to this community, maybe first time to a transmission or to a meditation. Who knows? Welcome to all of you that have joined your first time. So, there are many ways of spiritual growth, personal growth, emotional growth. There is many, many, many different pathways that we have developed over decades, centuries, maybe millennia. And this is one pathway. We receive a lot from this pathway, and it brings us great joy to deliver it to all of you. And in this pathway, we work with celestial guides, guides that come into embodiment and speak through me and deliver an energetic adjustment, an energetic um, frequency, a delivery that impacts us on all aspects of our being, be it the mental or the emotional, the physical, and this energetic spiritual being that we are beyond all of the things that we know about ourselves. And these adjustments are seemingly very important. They impact all aspects of our lives, the way we think, the way we feel, the way our body operates, all our actions, the way we see the world is impacted by how aligned we are internally. Now, the session, the free live transmission that we did before this one was about internal alignment. So it was a little bit more focused on an individual's internal alignment. And today we're going to focus a little bit more on collective alignment. So, what do you think, Crystal? Collective alignment is truly about?
Oh, I have a quiz this morning. I love it.
Well, in terms of your perspective,
I'm only
I
kidding.
just want to hear your perspective.
Yeah, collective alignment. So when I think of collective alignment, I think of capacity. I think of myself in um, I think of myself in situations where I have unlimited possibility, but joined with the collective, that increases my capacity to access
Mm-hmm.
um,
Mm-hmm.
that energy. So for me, collective alignment isn't about necessarily reaching out. It's about bringing in,
Got it.
and really opening myself to the true access and power that is the collective. I mean, we all are one. We're individuated, and we're reminded of the individuation every day as we walk this earth as humans. Um, but really we are one. We are a collective, and
Mm-hmm.
so having a weekend to remind ourselves the power of the collective that's brought down and channeled through us is, I think, really special. That would be my thought.
Well said. Thank you. To me, in nature, some of the most pristine examples of collective alignment are, for example, a beehive,
Mm.
right? The way they operate, aside from the fact that they have a queen and so on. We don't do imperial anymore. But, the way they operate and the way they are in sync as a collective and the way they create and the way they're consistent about creating, the way they hold each other in reverence, in protection, also in service to their entire hive. It's quite beautiful to watch it. Now, other examples are, for example, the redwood trees that
Mm.
are an entire living being of many trees of the same kind. They're one consciousness, their roots are connected, they support each other with nutrients. If trees on the other side of the forest need nutrients, they're going to be transferred through that network. Information gets passed on if forest fires are going. It's very fascinating. There's entire studies that have been done around that.
Mhm.
So to me, that's also a collective consciousness that's in really great alignment.
Mm.
Now, as a human consciousness, we've seen great examples of really properly aligned operation. A well run family or community. Tribes, in
Mm.
some ways, were that aspiration towards collective alignment. Now, as we are evolving in our consciousness, collective alignment is going to look a little bit more differently. It's about, are we on our consciousness level connected in terms of our perspectives, our maturity, our vibration, our energetic presence? Are we in sync?
Mm.
And what happens if we're not in sync? Well, I think it's easy to see that in human society, what happens when we're not in sync. And currently, we are more not in sync than we are in sync,
Mm.
I would say. We can definitely go more into the direction of getting more in sync, not just about my personal values or my culture versus your culture, my tradition versus your tradition, my language versus yours, my color versus yours, and so on. It's not really about that. When I think about collective alignment, it's more on a consciousness level.
Mhm.
And as a consciousness, we are one consciousness. We are one humanity, one human collective, individually represented, and then also represented in groups of communities and traditions and cultures and so on. So to me, when we do this work, it's in some ways threefold, and I'll talk about each of the different layers. The first one would be me as an individual. Am I ready to operate with a collective, no matter where they are? Now, that could be the one person in the community that says, you know, let's go hunting today. And everyone is like, no, today is not a good day for hunting. But that one person is keeps on being persistent and is not submitting to the collective's readiness to operate together.
Mm.
So an individual's readiness is part of being part of a collective alignment. So that's you, that's us. The second part is the community at large ready to align with each other in order to form a synchronized energetic field? And we've experienced this
Mhm.
many times in meditations. We've experienced this when we are so attuned to each other, then everyone's needs are heard, felt, seen without even having to speak about them. When we have a collective or communal mission, everyone in the community is aligned towards that mission. That's what it means to be in alignment in a community. And what can we do if we are aligned as a community? Well, we can do a lot of things. We can do things that a single bee couldn't do, right? We can do things that a single redwood tree couldn't do. And the same thing goes for the type of change and the type of presence we can bring to humanity as a community. Now, some people will say, well, humanity isn't ready. Like the grand population of humanity is still like on their devices, on their social media feeds, and they, operated by fear and fed the news and all of that. That may be true, but we could still work towards collective alignment within community and grow as a community and influence more and more individuals to operate from that place of being. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore the people that are not in the community or that are not in necessarily alignment with me. It just means I have more capacity to witness everything else around me.
Mhm.
I have more capacity to see other people the way they are and where they are in their journey.
Mm.
And that to me is also something that comes from a collective alignment. If I'm in a collective and I feel the support of the collective, there is a strength and confidence that is within me. And I feel supported in what I want to do. I feel heard and seen.
Mhm.
We've lost that a bit, becoming these very insular, uh, family units or individuals operating often by themselves, having the illusion of community or the illusion of many relationships, but not like the deep bond that is almost like, you know, people really have your back.
Mm.
I think we're going to bring that back. And that's super exciting.
Yeah.
What do you think, Crystal?
Well, when you were talking, I was thinking about an orchestra and a symphony, and
Hmm.
I was thinking about how um, each individual instrument tunes to the one that's in the on the right pitch, right?
Hmm.
You're not necessarily the one that's out of alignment. You're not tuning to that one. You're tuning to the one that's the right frequency. And so I was imagining, us as a symphony of we're tuned to the right frequency, and ultimately those who aren't tuned to the right frequency have the opportunity to tune to that right frequency so that we can be this beautiful symphony, rather than the other way around, which is when you were talking about the people on their tech, and which
Hmm.
is, tech is not bad in general, but um, uh, getting kind of pulled this way or that way or manipulated by media or
Hmm.
what have you. It's like they're the ones that are kind of out of tune. But what if more and more and more of us were in tune, and they would have that to look to as well, or at least a comparison of, okay, here's that media that's kind of out of tune, and then here's one or two or 100 or 1,000 or a million people that are in tune. It's like
Hmm.
gives people that opportunity. So the power of collective alignment, that's what kind of came up for me
Hmm.
while you were talking about community.
A well synchronized orchestra can play beautiful
Yeah.
symphonies.
Yeah, and the natural tendency for a well synchronized orchestra is to tune to the right frequency, right?
Right. So the analogy of an orchestra is almost better than being bees, because every bee kind of looks similar, kind of does the same thing. Maybe there is, like, if we were to compare ourselves to that, we may almost think about losing our individuality. But it's not really about that, right? The individuality is still there.
Mhm.
It's just we're operating from a different place of being, a different level of presence. So, in my experience, even if we can reach these states of being in meditations together,
Mhm.
that's a great start. And if we are out of sync and out of tune when we're doing our human things because the ego construct comes in or old traumas come in, whatever it is, that's okay, because over time that will also adjust. I truly believe that.
Yeah.
So the type of synchronicity or this type of alignment we reach in communal gatherings or in deep meditations, we can get to that in day to day and human life operations.
Yeah, what I love about weekend intensives is they really give us a benchmark to refer back to in the times where
Mhm.
we go back into the world, and we're going about our days and we're living our human life, and things are coming up and we're getting triggered, and it's like there's that really deeply anchored benchmark
Mhm.
from the weekend that just kind of can reemerge as an option for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the weekend that we're holding, this coming weekend actually,
Hmm.
Saturday and Sunday, that is open to the general public to join, is about coming first and foremost, like, into an internal alignment as an individual, having a reset, having a recharge, having a place where you don't really have to do anything aside from just being present
Hmm.
and not having distractions that take you away from that presence. And furthermore, is feeling what it feels like to be energetically synchronized in a collective field. How does that feel like? That when we are in that synchronous state, in that supported energy, what does that feel like? And being able to go back to it when we are in difficult circumstances or challenges in life, even if it's just going back to the imprint of it, the memory of it. Because, as
Mhm.
Crystal said, it anchors itself in your being and it becomes part of you and part of your journey as a support mechanism.
Right.
Now, some of you might say, oh, this is all very strange, like all hypothetical stuff that you're talking about, and how's that really going to impact my life? And I can understand that. So, the degree to which you're ready to receive this work is yours to choose. If you're ready to receive it only to clear your mind, that's okay. If you're only ready to receive it to just get a moment of reset or take a break from work, that's also fine.
Mhm.
Take a break from family, that's also great. So, degree, you decide to which degree you want to go in, how much you want to lean in, and how much you want to receive. It's really yours to choose. No one's going to impose and enforce you to be now part of the hive, right? There is no Kool-Aid that we're going to be serving you.
Kool-Aid is bad for your health.
It well, yes, that too. So ultimately, when you are starting on this journey and start to come into like deeper states of presence, awareness, and internal alignment, find a greater sense of peace internally, start to see the shifts in your relationships and outside of you, then those that are also in those same states that you are in, there is an immediate bond.
Mhm.
And I want to ask everyone here, I can't see your answers, obviously, but just for yourself. When you have come out of a deep meditation or retreat, a workshop, or your practices, a transformational time, and then you've met someone that you've never known before, but there was a sense of alignment. There was a sense of, oh, I know this person. Feels incredibly familiar. Feels like we're vibing at the same energy level, frequency level, awareness level, presence level. I'm sure that you may have experienced something like this before.
Mm.
This is what I mean. When we are operating at that level, we're going to recognize those people on that level much easier, much more naturally. When we're operating at a different level, then we're going to recognize more those people.
Mhm.
It's just the nature of this construct, the lens in which we operate from, the energy that we bring into the world is going to bring the other types of things back to us.
Mhm.
Now, some of you might say, well, I've done all this work, I'm a good person, but all these misfortunes start continue to happen to me. Why is that? It's not fair. And that's true. It is not fair. And at the same time, we have to look more and deeper into the aspects of ourselves that are not conscious. There are parts of us that are operating in a conscious plane, and we know the things that we know. We don't know the things that we don't know. In that level of the things that we don't know that are also shaping our reality, that's where we're starting to expand our consciousness into, to bring these things slowly to a surface so that they can be processed
Right.
and we become more masters of our lives and conscious creators of our lives. So, this is what the guides speak about when they talk about great awareness. They talk about your awareness expands from the things that you know to the things that you don't know about yourself and humanity and consciousness itself. So, this expansion of your consciousness is therefore a very important piece of this journey because it shapes your world. If you don't mind how the world is shaped and your reality is shaped and you're just going to go with the flow, that is perfectly fine. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. A lot of individuals, including myself, have lived entire lifetimes or parts of their lives like that. And if they found happiness in that way of living, that's also perfectly okay. What we are offering and what we're being guided to explore is this concept of conscious creatorship. And in order to become a conscious creator, we have to get into a greater awareness of our consciousness, of our being, of our reality. What do you think, Crystal?
I think it's great.
Do you want to be a conscious
um,
creator?
I feel like I am a conscious creator.
Yeah, I know you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You definitely are.
The subtle changes in the way that I approach adversity or challenges or triggers.
Mhm.
Um, uh, the conscious creator for me is not a destination; it's a journey, and it's a
Yes,
real integration into real world life. So I get very excited about the phrase conscious creator because I can see it in my daily life. And I can see
absolutely.
it multiple times a day. It's not something that I have to wait for. That's 2 years down the line that I have to work towards, like a degree um, or like you know, a master's training program
Yeah,
that you've got to, lay prostrate to a guru for, this many years until you achieve this level. It's like I am a conscious creator.
right.
I'm a conscious creator as I navigate through everyday life. So
Yeah. And
mm,
the degree to which we are creating consciously increases as
mhm.
our awareness expands.
Yeah, and
Now,
it's
collective
subtle.
alignment ties right into that,
Right,
right? Collective
right.
alignment ties right into that.
Yeah, yeah.
So, what if not just one person, but an entire group of people are conscious creators?
Hmm.
Then
Yeah,
we can truly make a difference. We can truly impact humanity in the way we would like to impact, which
yeah.
is to greater peace, to greater kindness, to greater alignment,
Hmm.
and to greater co creation.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
The evolution of consciousness to me and conscious creatorship to me is I've learned that it's much more natural and a graceful unfolding. It's not something that we learn in a textbook or we're going to grasp truly with the mental, with the mind or the mental construct. It's really an allowing and a surrendering into what is that um, that allows for it to just come forth in a way that's just really easy and natural. Yeah.
so we have an incredible weekend
Hmm.
for those of you that want to join, that haven't joined yet or signed up for it yet. It's going to be, I believe, a true level up. Of course, we're going to look into what happened, what occurred in the last year. For some, the year was a roller coaster. For some, it was expansion. For some, it is uncertainty. Um, and for some is the influence of what is happening outside, which is really touching us inside. So we can look at all of that together over
Hmm.
the weekend, but we can also say, well, despite all the challenges, a certain level of growth happened. And I want to honor that growth. I want to anchor it in so that when I'm moving from that anchor forward, I rarely will drop below that point of anchor,
Hmm.
that point of growth. It's a bit like a milestone that we have reached.
Yeah.
So I'm super excited about it. And I've been preparing for it, both personally, emotionally, and mentally. And I've been going through my own level ups to get there. So And I know many of you have as well. And many of you have been telling us that you've been feeling the oncoming of this weekend
Mm.
weeks before. Um, let's see how it unfolds, because
Mhm.
we don't exactly know. We set the structure for it, and then very often it includes elements of like human to human conversations, just like the way we have done it.
Mhm.
And we'll have conversations with the audience, and we'll take questions. But there is also many of the elements are deep meditative states and deep meditations to have a direct personal experience that's beyond the mind.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
that's when the guides come in, they kind of direct that and they kind of deliver that in a way that is truly impactful.
Mhm. Yeah.
I think they have something special in store for us. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
All
Yeah, I'm
right.
excited too. I also want to just express gratitude because these sessions leading up have been an opportunity to really experience the excitement of what's to come, to drop in and experience that. So, Asil, thank you for creating the space and the energy and devoting yourself to bringing the channel forth and the guides forth and the energy forth in um, these last sessions. Thank you.
Thank you.
For those of you who don't know Asil, he doesn't have to do any of this stuff. He does it because he has a real commitment to the evolution of the consciousness of humanity, and it's expressed in one transmission at a time. So um, we appreciate that, and it does take some energy and focus for him to get into state and allow the guides to come through. So we appreciate you,
Thank
and
you.
I also want to express gratitude for the responsiveness that you have. We had one question to say, wouldn't it be nice if we had meditations to prepare for this experience, for this level up weekend? And so Asil said, yes, let's do that. So
Well, I
he went
checked in
in
with
and
the guides as well.
yeah, yeah.
So they were a yes to it. So
I
then
feel like the guides would be a yes to anything that we wanted
I
to bring through.
I think when it comes to like, anything that will support
Yeah,
individuals on their journey of evolution,
yeah.
absolutely yes.
Hmm.
They Whenever we make space for that, whenever we have gatherings, they will always show up. They will
Yeah,
always deliver.
yeah.
There's a, that's a very strong backbone and something incredibly beautiful that we can rely on.
Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, and I also really want to just express our gratitude for the team that's working behind the scenes, just in putting these preparatory events together. There's so much that goes into it, and so we have all of you in the production team who are watching right now. Just want to say thank you. And thank you in advance for the incredible weekend that we're going to produce and everything that's been done to invite and welcome as many people as possible to both this live stream, this weekend live, and also the replays. So there's an
Mhm.
incredible amount of work that's done to bring this to you all. And so we thank
I
you
hope you
for
like it.
all of that. Yes. I hope you like it.
I hope you enjoy it.
I hope you get something out of it.
Yes.
With that, what do you think, Asil? Shall we move
Yeah,
into?
absolutely. Maybe
Um,
give a couple more
yeah,
directive points for
yeah,
those that are new to this.
yes, yeah. And I will say before we do that specifically, there are meditations, as I mentioned, that those of you who are new, you can have access to those meditations and do them from now until Saturday, and you can even do them beyond Saturday. They're meant to live past the Level Up workshop by signing up for Mighty Networks. We have a Mighty Networks online community, and they're accessible there. And the team, our production team, will put the link to that uh, that free meditation in the chat, or the free meditations in the chat, excuse me. And then they'll also put a link to sign up for Level Up. So if you haven't signed up for the weekend, please go ahead and do that either today or in the next couple of days, and we'll see you there. And
Well,
then,
if
yeah,
some of you want to come here to Lake Tahoe, to snowy Lake Tahoe, it's not too late. We still have a couple spots if you want to join us here in person.
that's right. You're welcome. Yeah. So
So
yeah, go ahead,
go ahead.
Asil.
You go ahead.
All right. Well, I was going to say, as you're kind of preparing, I'm going to do a little bit of an intro for people who
Mhm.
are not familiar with your work and may see you doing funny things. A seal gets into a trance-like state, and um, he transmits and embodies energy and wisdom through this connection that he makes as he's going into state. So through this connection, energy is going to pass through him and reach those of us who are tuned into the transmission. This works either live or recorded. This energy will allow you to align, go deeper in your meditation, connect with your own consciousness, connect to celestial realms, as well as receive information, which usually takes the form of a spoken transmission, or in your own way, visions, messages, or inner knowings. So the process for a seal to get into trance includes spontaneous hand and body movements, trembling of his body, rapid breathing, and as the energy level rises, he will experience rapid eye movement. This is all normal. We assure you everything's okay. His daily human consciousness is still available to him while he's channeling, and he can stop the channeling at any time. The channel will bring through guides who specifically represent themselves with the names that humanity has given them. You might recognize some of these names as angels or archangels, but they never refer to themselves as such. Once the energetic field is established, then an energetic alignment will begin. And people report having powerful experiences even during video recordings. So it's easy. Sit back, sit comfortable, lie down, focus on being in an open meditative state and connecting to your higher consciousness. Just by being receptive, you've included yourself within this field, so there's nothing more you need to do.
Greetings. We are Elohim. The transformation of humanity as a consciousness, as a collective, requires the transformation of the individual. All aspects of transformation are within you and are ready to be activated and evolve into your greatest form of existence. In these moments, of silence. In these moments of collective gathering, in these moments of expansion, you witness yourself more than the formalized ego construct or the personality you have assumed, the individual that you are in this lifetime. You experience your entire being, all that you are, beyond this one individual. You notice this expanded state of awareness allows you to notice that all of you is part of a greater collective of existence. All of you is part of all of consciousness, is part of all of humanity. And all of humanity is represented within you. The individual experience will continue to exist until the completion of the human form. Yet within this individual experience, you will expand to a greater understanding of the collective and operations as one organism, aligned in thought, aligned in frequency, aligned in emotion, aligned in action. Your individual perspective, opinion, and ideas will remain as a beautiful gift of yours to the collective. Your unique perspective will be regarded and honored. Yet not all perspectives will align for the operations and the actions that the collective will take. The collective, on a consciousness level, will choose the experiences it requires. And in this very moment, all experiences that you witness in society, on this earth, are collectively chosen to be experienced. And part of you might wonder, how can any form of consciousness, any individual, request such challenging experiences? Pain, suffering. How can this be part of what the collective wants and creates? Yet the collective has not matured enough to create a different reality. The collective requires to learn from experiences in order to mature, in order to evolve, in order to create a new reality. And until these learnings have transformed into realizations, have integrated as a new way of being, the cycles will repeat individually and collectively. Some cycles will be detrimental to the individual or the collective. Some cycles will push this human experience to the limit. Yet, in this push and intensity of the experience itself, is the desire of the collective to evolve, the desire to expand, to learn, and to live a new reality. Until this new reality becomes a conscious choice of the collective, it will request the continued cycles to occur. The work, the path that you have chosen is to come to conscious awareness of the learnings that you are still required to have, the realizations that you still might require to see. Consciously choosing a path of evolution, a path of awakening, a path of growth. And as you choose consciously, as you learn and grow consciously, all your relationships are impacted. All your communities are impacted. All your actions and your impact in the world at large is impacted. And the collective receives from your learnings and realizations. And the more individuals choose consciously this path of evolution, the greater the potential for the collective to truly receive and no longer choose a reality of challenge to evolve. Evolution is delivered from a place of conscious awareness. Evolution is delivered from consciousness. The learnings occur more naturally. No longer the mental construct is required to understand all aspects of life. No longer are all emotions required to be fully felt or understood. The part of you that always has been, your consciousness, beyond this lifetime, beyond many lifetimes, is the one directing your journey on this human plane, in this human form. Yet, currently, the capacity of your perspective requires to expand, to increase your conscious awareness of your reality. Allow these adjustments to impact you in this expansion, to support you, so that you may see more clearly, feel and experience in greater detail and depth. And even if it may be overwhelming at first, this greater sensitivity, this greater transparency will be of benefit to you, to your life, and to the life of others. Your ability to receive this expanded state, this greater sensitivity, this greater observation will be your gift to yourself and to all of existence. This capacity is fueled by the adjustments and the silence that you find for yourself, a moment of deep connection with all that exists. Thank you for listening to our words. We will now commence with the adjustments. Thank you for receiving this gift of ours and extended support for your journey of evolution. Welcome back. Now you can stay in this place of meditation, rest for as long as you want to. And it's more than the words, it's the energy of finding a deep peace inside. That's really important. And whatever collective alignment means to you, be it your readiness to align with other individuals, be it the vision you have for humanity, for your community, for your family, for your group of friends. I honor your decision and your choice to make a step forward in that direction, for you to do what it takes, to do what it takes to walk this path and to be here. Thank you all for joining, and I'm looking forward to seeing many of you this coming weekend.